everyone. Welcome back to worship. I'm excited to learn more about God's great big goodness with you today. Last year, we had a song that we liked to sing called Good Morning, Lord. It's actually a prayer about saying hello to God and starting your day with Him and taking care of the people He loves. It goes like this. Good morning, Lord. It's a beautiful day. The Bible describes God as our good Father, the one who made us, the one who loves us, no matter what. That's what this song is about. Oh, I've heard 1,000 stories of love. They think you're right, but I've heard the tender whispers of love. Dead of night and you tell me that you're pleased and good. Never alone, you're a good Father to Hello, everyone. I am so glad to be back in the kitchen with you this month, and we get to talk about a very delightful fruit of the Spirit this time, goodness. Goodness makes me think of, well, the snack that I was just about to have. Have you had avocado toast? It's good. I mean, it's green and vibrant and delicious. Anyway, goodness is not badness or evil, or we need to talk about all of that, but we need a fruit. We need a fruit that can help us describe just how wonderful goodness actually is. You know, something that feels like spring, maybe that's kind of a good spring color, like green, I'm going to think about it here for a second. And hey, you know what? I have an idea. I have an idea for a fruit. It's not like a typical fruit, but it is green. Yeah, okay. We're going to need to go out and find a tree. Okay, are you ready? Come follow me. Here we go. Oh, snack to go. That's right. An avocado is a fruit. It may look a little different than most of the things you might think to put in your fruit salad, but it really is a fruit. It's the fruit of the avocado tree, and botanically speaking, it's technically a berry. So if that doesn't just throw you totally for a loop, let's learn a few other things about avocados. They are natively from Mexico. That seems to be where the trees originated from, and Mexico still grows the most avocados of any other growing center in the world. Avocados are really, really good for you. They are just stuffed full of vitamins, fiber, potassium, and the healthy kinds of fats that your body actually really needs. They are super, super good for you. Now, they're not sweet, even though in some places of the world people do use them in sweet foods. But think about how they just make everything good. Avocado added to a sandwich? Amazing. How about avocado added to an omelet? Yes, please. Avocado on your burger? Of course. Avocado mixed in with all sorts of things like a burrito? So good, right? Avocados are a really good fruit. Now, a little bit more about how they look and some funny things about them. You'll notice that they're very green, dark green when they're ripe, and very bumpy and rough on the outside on their skin. That is a very tough layer of protection for a very soft, buttery-like flesh that's on the inside. In fact, this bumpy skin gave them another name. In some places in the world, they are actually called an alligator pear. Pear shape, that's about right. An alligator? I can totally see it, can you? But avocados are good for you, and they taste pretty incredible as well. Well, what does the Bible have to say about goodness? A whole lot, actually. Did you know that the word good shows up in your Bible about 610 times? That's a lot of goodness. In fact, we find it at the very beginning of our story of God's people and God with us. The creation story has this refrain that keeps coming back every single day of creation, and it was good. God creates the light. God separates it from the dark. God makes the dry land, the trees, the beautiful flowers, all of the animals. And when he comes to people, do you know what he says? And it was very good. Goodness is a part of the story. But he gave people a choice. He said there is a tree that is called the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Well, did they already know what goodness was? They did. And here's part of what you need to know about goodness. Goodness is bad's opposite. It is the going the total other direction from bad. It is a push back against anything that might not be right. They knew what that was. That was a part of their story and had been ever since they were created. But unfortunately, they thought their life experience wasn't complete without bad. So the rest of the Bible traces and tells the story of God's incredible goodness. God has a good land prepared for his people. God has good plans, good ideas, good health, good. The Bible even tells us that God's promises were proven good all of the time. God made good on God's promises. When Jesus came, what was the gospel called? The good news of Jesus coming to push back against all that was wrong and bad and not okay. And that's what Jesus came to do. One day, Jesus was having a conversation with someone, a teacher of the law, in fact. And the teacher asked, "What do I need to do to inherit eternal life?" And Jesus said, "Well, you know the scriptures. What do you think? What sounds good and right to you?" He said, "Well, love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your mind and all your strength and all your soul, and love your neighbor as yourself." Jesus said, "That's a good answer. Well done." But then the guy was a little, he had some questions about who that actually would include in his life. And he said, "So who is my neighbor?" And Jesus told a story I think you might know. This story involves a man who was traveling and was attacked by robbers on the road, on his journey. And do you know what? They beat him, they took his things, and they left him for dead. Everything that was not good was happening to him in his life. He had so much not good happening to him that it might have been the end of his story completely. Except some other people came by, some other travelers. There was a priest, a Levite. And did they choose good? Did they choose to push back against everything that had happened that was wrong? No. They walked to the other side of the road and just kept right on going. But there was another man, a third man who came. A Samaritan, someone that wasn't even liked by the person technically who had gotten hurt. But he looked at the man and he said, "What has happened to you is wrong. It's bad. And I'm not okay with that. That makes me uncomfortable. It's not okay. I'm going to push back against all the bad that has happened, and I'm going to change this story." He went over, he helped the man, he bandaged up his wounds, he put him on his own donkey, and he traveled with him to an inn where he took care of him. And then he paid to have the man continue to stay there until he was totally well again. And told the innkeeper even, "If there's anything else you need, if this costs you anything to help take care of him, you let me know. I will pay for it the next time I'm in town." He saw a situation that was bad and he pushed back against it and said, "I'm going to change this story for good." And when he did, we now call him something. Do you know what it is? It's the story of what we call the Good Samaritan. He said, "It's not okay to see bad. I want to push back against it." And that's what the fruit of the Spirit of goodness is all about. It sees what's going on that's not okay. It notices the kid who's alone at lunch. It notices who's not having someone play with them at recess. It's the story of saying, "I recognize that this is not good, and I want to do something to push back against the good." Not shove, but to push back against what's not good. And bring goodness back to the story. When you let Jesus grow goodness in your heart, do you know what comes out of that? You start looking around and caring. And when you see something that's not okay, you say, "No, not today. That can't happen, because I am someone who cares about the good. And I am going to do everything I can to gently push back this story into a good one." If you do that, you know who you will be like. Not just the Good Samaritan, but you will be like our good God, who has pushed back against sin in the world, who's pushed back against things that are not okay, not right, and has said, "This is not the end of the story. My goodness, my love, my grace is going to be the one to totally clear the table and present some beautiful new beginnings." It's pretty good stuff, if you ask me. Well, fruit of the Spirit, avocado. I have an idea for something that we can make together. Little take on fruit salad, if you will, that might help us to remember what standing up for the good is all about. I'll see you back at the kitchen. Jesus is so good to us. He loves us, he listens to us, and he has great big plans to spend eternity with us. He's coming soon, and that's good news. God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. He's so good to me. He answers prayers. He answers prayers. He answers prayers. He's so good to me. He loves us all. He loves us all. He loves us all. He's so good to me. He's coming soon. He's coming soon. He's coming soon. He's so good to me. God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. He's so good to me. He's so good to me. Well, now that we have learned more about the goodness of God and the goodness that God invites us to participate in, not to mention the goodness that's hiding inside this little avocado, we are ready to create something delicious together. We're going to make guacamole, which is technically a fruit salad. Think about it. Avocado's a fruit. It has lemons, also a fruit, and tomatoes are what? A fruit. It's a fruit salad. We're gonna combine this along with some cilantro and red onions, some spices, and I have one more twist for you right at the end because do you remember the other name for this fruit? We'll see if you do at the end. All right, are you ready? On your mark, get set, let's make guacamole. is it? It's a guacamole. Oh, let's see. What do you think? Is that a little bit extra fun and silly or what? Now, the most important part remains. We have to taste it, right? Get a few handy tortilla chips at the ready, your favorite kind. Give a good grin to your guacamole and take a little taste. Let's see. You know, it's good. Well, I hope that you remember how good God's goodness is and that He invites you to push back against anything that's bad in the world and bring a little goodness into your corner of your community. I hope you always remember that you are loved and that you are prayed for. And I will see you again next month for another fruit of the Spirit.